Get set.
Well, welcome to Menomonie, Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley, along with John Hughes. I'm Tommy Sanders, and welcome to the start of the 20th season for the STIHL Timbersports Series. A great backdrop here down the Red Cedar River. They would float those logs all the way through the Chippewa River down to the Mississippi, so a lot of logging tradition here, John.
Oh, a lot of tradition. The competitors know about the tradition here. They know the fans are going to welcome them. They're in for some great competition.
Well, good competition, and a bit different this year as it is the 20th season. We're changing that competition a little bit. We'll start with 32 competitors divided into flights of 8. Now, in this first round of competition, your job is to make it into the top 4 in your flight, so there's no room for error. There's lots of opportunities to advance, but you can't make a mistake.
The guys on the bubble here are the guys in 4th, 5th, and 6th position. We know that if they have a problem, they're going to drop all the way down the rankings. Very hard for them to climb back up. The guys in the middle are on the bubble before they even get started.
We'll take a look at the competitors in Flight A getting ready to go today, including last year's champion, David Bolstad, and we're just about ready to go.
Start out by getting everyone's heart pumping a little bit faster. Certainly the most demanding chopping event we have, the springboard chop. You cut a board hole, insert board, climb up on that, cut another one, jump up there, and cut a 12-inch block. Our two competitors, well, it is an international match from down under. Brad DeLosa going up against Cecil Starr of Canada.
We've seen Brad DeLosa in the series before and Cecil, and both these guys have improved immensely. Cecil Starr from Mactair, Ontario, Canada. This guy is a great Canadian hopeful, doing a fantastic job in all the other shows this year. And he's up on top of that board with Brad DeLosa right now.
Cecil, a hard trainer, but it's hard sometimes up in Canada where it's cold. He says he looks forward to warm weather. We can chop without gloves.
That's a little different holding on to an axe with gloves on compared to your bare hands. Brad DeLosa doing a terrific job over there. He arrived a couple of weeks ago, went to a show in Canada. He said it was good to get the cobwebs out. I feel much more balanced and confident now. I can get after it. And he's got that block shaking already.
One more ought to do it for Brad DeLosa. There he's going to make it under a minute unofficially. 55.7 for Brad DeLosa. Official time 55.64, so it's DeLosa setting the bar. Ready for our next heat in the springboard chop. This one features Warwick Hallett from Glencoe, Minnesota, originally from New Zealand, going up against a guy from down under, Brad Turner from Victoria, Australia. It's great to have Brad Turner back in the mix. Very talented action. The magic number, 55.64 seconds. That's currently first place. So if you can get past that, now that it is the third heat of competition, you will be in the top 4 points-wise so far in Flight A.
And Warwick's got a great start here. He put a 4-hit hole for the first one, 6 hits for the second one. Good and strong board, and he's chopping very well up top. Brad a little bit behind getting up there, but this young man is strong and accurate. This is going to be a great race to the finish. Now the key to watch here, Tommy, is when they make the turn. They want the least number of blows possible. You can eat up a lot of time putting in uncontrolled blows in the back.
Well, Brad Turner back in the Timbersports mix again this year, looking bigger and stronger than ever. One more ought to do it for Brad Turner. Oh, he's got one more. There we go. And the win for Brad Turner. His official time, 57.50. A good time, but not good enough to unseat Brad DeLosa. He's still got the best time, 55.64. With one match left, he can do no worse than third.
All right, the premier heat of the springboard chop coming up right now, featuring David Bolstad, the defending champion of the STIHL Timbersports Series from 2004, going up against Dale Ryan, the well-known competitor from Katoomba in New South Wales, Australia. Best time so far, 55.64 for Brad DeLosa.
Dale wasn't feeling too good when he got here yesterday, but he's looking real good now. David Bolstad, the world record holder and the record for this event here in the Great Outdoor Games. Tommy, his record in this event is 32.77 seconds in this 11-inch round pine, and he's having a good shot at it.
And they're on track to post the top 2 times.
The time's already ticked past 35.
David is a very
Well, it's going to be Bolstad easily winning the springboard chop. Dale Ryan will have the second best time.
Dale's got a big hole in the front of that log, and using the slicing technique in the back of it, putting way too many blows in it for him. And David Bolstad, the master of the switch hitting, with the final blows for the win.
David Bolstad officially 42.05 seconds. He is your winner. Flight A in the springboard chop competition. Dale Ryan, of course, in second place. Third place, Bradley DeLosa, currently fourth place points. This is crucial throughout this competition. It's going to be Brad Turner with 57.5.
David Bolstad, the first event out of the shot for 205 here at the STIHL Series. Tell us about that one.
It's just nice to have a run, John, and it's a new format this year, and I'm nothing but excited with it now because it started, and we all have great expectations to go on as do as well as we can, and yeah, it's just nice to be here.
Well, David Bolstad, two-time champion of the series, establishing himself as the early Dodge competition leader favorite, putting himself in prime position to win that Dodge Ram pickup as this year's champion. Lots more competition on the way, including some boom run for you, so don't go away. The STIHL Timbersports Series is brought to you by STIHL, maker of a full line of handheld outdoor power equipment. By Dodge, the official truck of the STIHL Timbersports Series. By Carhartt, official workwear of the STIHL Timbersports Series. And by Cabela's, the official outfitter of the STIHL Timbersports Series. We're back in Menomonie, Wisconsin, the 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series. We are done with the axes for the moment. Going to pick up the chainsaws and the two identically tuned STIHL saws and ready for the stock saw competition.
In the stock saw event, we have the MS616 STIHL Magnum chainsaw. Each competitor runs one. They've been tuned identically. They have a 16-inch log, 4 inches in which to make 2 complete discs.
There's Warwick Hallett from Glencoe, Minnesota, originally from New Zealand, in this next heat of the stock saw competition, going up against a man from down under, Dale Ryan.
And a very quick into the wood for both these guys.
Best time so far, 13.37 for 2 cuts from Bradley DeLosa. Going to be Dale Ryan by a whisker over Warwick Hallett. Dale Ryan does in fact get the win. The official time 11.22. The man with top points so far in the stock saw is Ryan, and Warwick Hallett, who's on the bubble 5th place as we came into this event, may have improved his chances and helped himself with an 11.45. All right, that is Brad Turner of Australia back in the mix for 2005 in the STIHL Timbersports Series, going up against Cecil Starr in this third heat for Flight A in the stock saw competition. Best time so far, Dale Ryan, 11.22.
The key for these guys is to listen to the revs. It's all ear-hand coordination. And Brad's doing a fantastic job there. That'll be a quick time. These guys only get 4 inches to make 2 cuts, and Brad's first attempt wasn't right. He reset the saw and got it going on a much thinner disc. Remember, he's got to make the upcut. But before the upcut, he adjusts his feet to be in position. A very quick, smooth upcut, and Tommy, he came out with a great time for the win.
Despite the bobble, an official time, check this out, 11.05, means Brad Turner is going to pick up the win in the stock saw. He's standing by with John Hughes.
Hey, Brad, that was a great cut. You got to be feeling good after that stock saw win.
Yeah, you know I am, John. I've been training hard at it at home, and I bet you I've been running 10 off a day and been making some perfect runs, and then I got here and I had that little bobble in the top, but I just couldn't believe how quick I recovered. By the time the first wheel dropped off, I knew I'd taken the lead back, and I thought things are going good, and then when I got off and seen the time, I was like, wow, that's an act of God. I was lucky.
After 2 events, 2 STIHL events, it's David Bolstad and Dale Ryan tied for the lead in Flight A. Brad Turner giving close chase with 13 points right behind him. The bubble guys now, Warwick Hallett in 4th and Bradley DeLosa in 5th. We've still got a lot of competition yet to come, starting right here and right now with the standing block, including Warwick Hallett going up against Bradley DeLosa.
I've got to give the edge to DeLosa, but Hallett's been working real hard.
Warwick Hallett looking leaner and more ready than we have seen him in years.
He's got some good equipment. He's got some good coaches. He's had Jason Wynyard staying with him, and he's put a big shore cut in the front of that. Brad got a quick start going there.
Wow, man. Brad DeLosa now in the lead in the standing block competition, in 18-2 as we come up on the next heat. Bolstad, of course, tied with Dale Ryan after 2 events. This may be one where they get to separate themselves one from the other. Who's the favorite?
Well, at first glance, I'd have to say Bolstad, but I tell you what, Ryan is fired up. He wasn't feeling good when he got here, but after placing where he's at, he's feeling good. Oh, Bolstad put a quick front in that. Is this log good enough for him to take it with his drives here? He's going to have to because Ryan's coming up.
Oh, my gosh, what a finish. As close a standing block as you'll ever see.
Dale Ryan in the black shirt, David Bolstad in the background. These guys were a mirror image cut in the back of this log. 12 inches of lathe turned white pine, and watch the finishing blows. Right together. Tommy, who was the winner?
Well, this is going to be a little controversial. David Bolstad, that's who they gave him to with 15.09. They say that Dale Ryan was 15.21. It looked a lot closer than that, but that is the judge's final decision. Let's take a look at our total points in Pool A after 3 steel events. Well, that event was the tiebreaker between Ryan and Bolstad. Bolstad ahead 22-21 right now. Brad DeLosa in 4th place on the bubble, along with Warwick Hallett right behind him. John Hughes standing by with Brad at this moment.
Brad DeLosa, you're in 4th position right now with a 5-point lead on the next position. Can you hold that?
Yeah, hopefully everything will go well going into the single buck, and the hot spool a little bit inexperienced there, but hopefully I can make 3 clean cuts and hold on to the 4th position.
Brad DeLosa is going to try to hang on a little bit longer. Meanwhile, we have finished all our chopping events and ready to crown our Carhartt chopping champion. Today, it's going to be David Bolstad. And coming up next, a new set of athletes for you to get familiar with. New to the series, the Boom Run, when we come back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robbie Floyd. This is Kevin Holt. It's the Boom Run, the newest of the STIHL Timbersports Series events. Fast, furious, the ladies fly, turn around the stage, and they come back. Their objective is to take the goal today to win, but also a bonus. If they come inside the top 4, they get that automatic bid to Virginia Beach, Virginia at the final stop. But this Boom Run, tell us about it. It's the newest sport we've seen on tour.
It is a new sport here in the STIHL Timbersports Series, but it's not a new sport in general. Boom running's been around for a long time, but we've mixed it up a little bit for the STIHL Timbersports Series. We're running a much shorter course than we've seen in the past. To mix it up a little bit, they've loosened this course up. We're going to see a lot more movement, and we may see more girls going in the water.
Just because it's short doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So let's get to it with a prelim.
Katie Heschler, our first competitor up from La Crosse, Wisconsin, gets the bye run. I mean, she gets to run by herself, but she's running against time. This is not against a competitor, but they're trying to beat the clock to make those top 8 ladies.
Absolutely. Here in the preliminaries, it's not about who you beat, it's the time you beat.
Down around the stanchion, coming back, you see the middle logs definitely, like you talked about, moving a lot more than the in ones across. They have to cross that line. She's running against the clock, and Katie Heschler an 11.71. All right, heat number 2, Olivia Judd out of Madison, Wisconsin on the near side on the red course, going up against Taylor Duffy from Hayward, Wisconsin. Let's see who's the fastest today.
Go.
Olivia with a good jump. Now the difference in log length as well is going to be very important in their timing.
When the logs are uniform in length, they can put down an even number of steps each time, get down a good rhythm. When the logs are broken in length, you really have to vary their steps.
Taylor Duffy, 12.28, and Olivia Judd, a 12.67. Coming up our next heat, Katie Rick out of Onalaska, Wisconsin. She's going to be a sophomore this fall at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. 19 years old, going up against Shauna Martin, who's actually the coach of Olivia Judd, who we just saw from Madison, Wisconsin, 25-year-old on the far lane, on the green line. Oh, man, good jump by Martin.
Definitely a solid lead in the green lane. No hesitations. Quick run in the green lane.
Oh, man, that was fast. And bogging down was Katie Rick. She fought it off hard. An 11.16 for Shauna Martin, the fastest time of the day so far. Coming up next is preliminary heat number 4. Tanya Fisher, Maggie Bulk. It's Fisher on the near side of the red course, Bulk on the far side. 20-year-old Fisher going up against 23-year-old Maggie Bulk. And boy, taking her time is Bulk. I think Fisher able to make up some more time. You see the wingspan going out there.
Absolutely, the arms are flailing, trying to keep that balance. That was one of the closest heats we've had so far. They were just about dead even at the turn, and very close finish at the end.
And the time for Tanya Fisher, 11.85. She was the quicker of the two. Maggie Bulk comes across at 12.02. So Fisher, the quick time, it puts her in 3rd overall right now. And again, we're looking for the 8th fastest ladies out there today. All right, this is the race we've been waiting for. Jenny Atkinson from Stillwater, Minnesota, the 32-year-old. You know, she has 6 great outdoor games medals, 13 world championship medals. going up against Lizzie Heschler from La Crosse, Wisconsin, 22 years old.
You have to think that Lizzie would have to be maybe a little intimidated going up against Jenny.
Atkinson on the near side, Heschler on the far side. Oh, a dead heat as they make the turn. Who's going to clear that stanchion first? It's Heschler. There goes Atkinson, a little bobble by Heschler, and it looks like it's going to be Atkinson on the near side. That was tight. Now those are going to be two good times. You know they'll be in the in the next round. Atkinson a 10:81, Lizzie Heschler a 11:03, two quick times, but Atkinson was definitely the quicker. Let's hear from her.
As I was watching the first girls go, I said I want to put the first one down somewhere in the 10s, so I'm really happy with it. It was good, solid run.
And our final pairing of the day, Abby Heschler and Mandy Erdman. This is a rematch of the 2005 Great Outdoor Games. The silver medalist in the boom run, Heschler, going up against the gold medalist, Erdman.
1, go!
Heschler on the near side, Erdman on the far side. Erdman with the hole shot first to the stanchion, trying to make up ground as Heschler. And it looks like she's doing it, closing in at the last second, and oh man! Heschler on the downstroke, a time of 10.23 seconds in this heat, but the second fastest of all our heats, and Mandy Erdman, our top qualifier, a 10.09. There you have it, the 8 girls who've made it into the quarterfinals. It's Mandy Erdman with a 10.09, Abby Heschler a 10.23, Jenny Atkinson 10.81, and you find your favorite athlete on the way down. When we come back, we'll have more of the STIHL Timbersports Series.
The STIHL Timbersports Series is brought to you by STIHL. Are you ready for a STIHL? By Dodge, grab life by the horns. By Carhartt, hard at work since 1889. And by Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter. It's the STIHL Timbersports Series, our first round of competition from Menomonie, Wisconsin. We have 8 competitors today trying to make it into the top 4 spots so they can advance. Currently, the man on the bubble is that guy right there, Bradley DeLosa from Australia, ready now for his 5th event, the single buck competition.
In the single buck, the competitor has one piece of equipment, 6'3" steel with many razor-sharp teeth on it. You must use all those teeth, all the length of the saw to sever that log.
This will be DeLosa right there in the foreground going up against Daryl Weekland.
Neither of these guys are known for their expertise with the single saw, but it's one of the 6 disciplines in the STIHL series, so they know they had to put their work in to be able to do it well, and Brad's got a good cut going.
14.60 for Brad DeLosa, helping his cause. The man on the bubble right now, he's hanging in there in 4th place. Next heat of the single buck, Warwick Hallett from not too far away, about an hour away in Glencoe, Minnesota, going up against Brad Turner, back in the mix in the STIHL Timbersports Series after being gone for a year.
Bradley DeLosa has the lead in the event so far with 14.6. Warwick has got to best that time. He's got a big long saw, he needs to use it all, but Brad Turner's cutting very well, his opposition there. And Brad's got a great cut there. There's an awful lot of teeth on these old misery whips, and Warwick Hallett, it looks like a new saw is running, and he's not using it all. He's got to extend that stroke to use all those sharp teeth. Brad Turner, his opponent, this guy from Aussie knows how to run it. Look at the full length of the saw from the handle to the very tip for a great time.
Brad Turner's official time, 13.56, so the man from Australia looking a lot better to make it into that top 4 who will advance to round 2 of the STIHL Timbersports competition. And Warwick Hallett did not meet Bradley DeLosa's time, so his chances are slipping away. He needs a miraculous result in the hot saw, the final event of the day. It's been a good race for top points in Flight A between these 2 guys, Dale Ryan and last year's champion, the defending champion, David Bolstad.
When we first saw Bolstad on the scene of the STIHL series, Tommy, he hadn't done very much single sawing at all, but he realized very quickly how important it was to be very good at every discipline. He's proven that with being the champion the last 2 years, and he's out to prove it again this year. These guys are going after it. I think Bolstad's got a quicker stroke and a much better cut going. And look at that time.
Man. Has he or has he not made himself into one of the top single sawyers in the world?
These guys have matched up all the way through Flight A in their competitions today, and Bolstad's come out on top all the time. Ryan was trying to pick it up here, but the expertise of David Bolstad, the past champion for 2 years in a row, proving his skills as a world champion. Look at that beautiful technique in the single, and Tommy, another great performance.
David Bolstead, 12.97. He's your winner in the single buck competition, extends his lead in the total points in Flight A. Now we look at the bubble position. Bradley DeLosa is there. Warwick Hallett is 7 points behind. John, I want you to ask Warwick what he thinks of those odds.
Obviously, the nerves are going to be telling on you, but what are you doing to calm yourself down, realizing this is your last chance to get to Lake Charles?
Well, listening to one or two other guys, just keep it cool, relax. I'm trying real hard to relax. But, under the circumstances, it's a little tough.
Warwick Hallett, to avoid being eliminated from the series, is going to have to do very, very well, probably win our next and final event, the Hot Saw.
The Hot Saw event. These guys have their own equipment. Half snowmobile motors turned into chainsaws to cut through a 19-inch log 3 times in about 5 or 6 seconds.
So now Bradley DeLosa trying to hold on to that 4th place spot. This is his last shot, the Hot Saw, going up against Daryl Weekly.
Well, it wasn't pretty. Well, Brad DeLosa didn't have to do anything too pretty, and it wasn't pretty here, Tommy. Made sure of the first cut, then started the upcut way out of the wood. Hang on, buddy. You need a complete disc. He gets it back in. Remember, he's only got 6 inches in which to make 3 cuts. That was a big chunk. Now he's got to steer it properly and hopefully not cut that line.
Brad DeLosa, again, wasn't pretty, but he got 3 complete discs of wood out and a time, 13:06. Not too bad, maybe good enough to get him into that top 4. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, here we go. Mike Ash and Brad Turner in this heat of the Hot Saw competition. Oh, big mess up for Brad Turner there.
Well, Brad Turner got the saw started good and got it up there, but halfway through this first cut, it died. It took him quite a bit of time, in fact 35 seconds to complete his cut, but his opponent Mike Ish with that smaller saw, the 250 Suzuki, he got it into the wood quickly, made the right number of cuts and came out with the win in this heat, Tommy.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mike Ish, he will not be able to advance to the second round of competition. Brad Turner has performed well enough today. He'll be going on, so sort of a bad practice session for Brad.
I told you it could happen. This is going to be my highest finish in any event.
Final heat of the Hot Saw competition. Warwick Hallett going up against our defending champion in the STIHL Timbersports Series, David Bolstead.
Whoa!
Excellent job. Not going to be a world record, but by far the best times of the day for Warwick Hallett and David Bolstead.
Warwick, coming into this event, you knew you weren't going to make it to Lake Charles, but man, what a phenomenal cut there.
It was great. I knew I just wanted to go out and make the cut that I wanted to do in the beginning. I knew the guys had DQ'd before me and put me further back in the positions, but I went for it.
A lot of pride in that cut. You beat David Bolstead, who's held the record and be the champion. You got to be feeling good about your position in the Hot Saw events now.
I'm very, very happy.
All right, good on you, bud. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
Warwick Hallett with 5.96, just barely edging out David Bolstead for the win in the Hot Saw competition. David Bolstead, however, gets the Cabela's Sawing Championship. He's your winner in that one, and the 4 guys who are going to advance from Flight A into the second round of competition in the STIHL Timbersports Series, led by David Bolstead. Dale Ryan, Brad Turner, and Bradley DeLosa. A clean sweep for the boys down under.
What a performance by David Bolstead. He is your Dodge competition winner. Next time, 8 more hopefuls shooting for 4 more spots in Lake Charles in this 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Hey, welcome. It's the 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series. Along with John Hughes, I'm Tommy Sanders. We have completed Flight A in our qualifying, and the 4 advancers from Flight A. Rather interesting, including last year's champion David Bolstead. We also had Dale Ryan, the 2 Brads, Brad DeLosa and Brad Turner. All guys from down under. We have to put that in.
3 Aussies and a Kiwi. Tommy, the key here was Brad DeLoser. I didn't think he had it to get in there. He relied on his chopping skills, and he's really developed in the single saw. He was able to skate through with the hot saw, a very slow cut, but he's in the top 4.
All right, we're ready for Flight B today. We've got some American hopefuls in this one, including the American legend, Melvin Lentz. Will some Americans finally qualify for the second round?
I really think they will. You know, this is where the event originated. The STIHL Timbersports Series is from here. These American guys were the first ones to work at it. Mel Lentz, we've got to see some good things out of him. Maybe today's his day.
8 hopefuls ready to go. Only 4 will advance to the final round of competition. Plus today, one of our new exhibition events, the Boom Run. So we got a lot going on, and we're ready to go. Let's get started by going straight to our Boom Run competition. Here's Robbie Floyd and Kevin Holtz.
We're getting ready to start the quarterfinals of Boom Run. Here are the brackets for the quarters. It's Heat 1 with Mandy Erdman, number 1, going up against Maggie Bulk, number 8 qualifier. Heat 2 has Martin against Heschler, and Heat 3, Tanya Fisher against Abby Heschler and Jenny Agason and Katie Heschler, rounding out the fields. Let's get started. It's Heat number 1. Here we go, our first competitors going at it in the Boom Run. Mandy Erdman, our top qualifier, going up against Maggie Bulk. It's Erdman on the near side with an early lead around the stanchion.
Erdman just pulled ahead by about a foot length in the qualifier. A more definitive win here.
And Maggie Bulk really didn't have a chance on that one. 12:02, the difference between their 2 heats, almost 2 full seconds. Mandy Erdman won this, a 10.20. I saw no problems in her run. She moves on from the quarters into the semifinals. Now, where will she be in those final 4, ladies? That's the next question. Shauna Martin from Madison, Wisconsin had 11:16. She was the number 5 qualifier going up against Lizzie Heschler, 11:03 in preliminary. She was 4th, so these are tightest pairings out here. Number 4 going against number 5.
Like you said, the tightest pairing. It's a tight heat right now.
Heschler behind. Martin on the near side. Heschler has to make up ground. She's giving it her all, but it looks like a good stretch by Shauna Martin.
It's got to be a portion of your foot that must cross that line. So they must have a clean finish onto that dock.
10:13 on the near side. Shauna Martin, she moves on to the semifinal. So we know 2 of the 4 semifinal positions will be going to Mandy Erdman and Shauna Martin. We have 2 more quarterfinal heats left. Right now, let's head over to Tommy and John at the springboard competition.
Why don't we start out by getting everyone's heart pumping a little bit faster? Certainly the most demanding chopping event we have, the springboard chop. You cut a board hole, insert board, climb up on that, cut another one, jump up there, and cut a 12-inch block. Ready to go with Heat 3 from Flight B of our STIHL Timbersports competition. The man on the left, the legendary Mel Lentz, going up against a guy in his sophomore season with the STIHL Series, Richard Jordan of Sterling, Connecticut.
The experience of Melvin Lentz will probably come out on top here, although right away Richard Jordan, a 4-hit hole, and he's up there.
We talk about Mel's 20 years with the STIHL Series. Of course, he's got well over 25 years, well over a quarter century of competition in timber sports in the United States at the highest level.
And not only here in the U.S. or in Canada, he's been down to Australia and New Zealand. In fact, he was 14 years old on his first trip to Australia to develop his skills as an axeman, and it's paid off. This guy has been absolutely phenomenal throughout the years of his sport.
A couple of terrible accidents over the past 7 years for Mel Lentz. He has overcome those. He has come back, competes as well today as he has many years. 43 seconds, just over 43 now for Mel Lentz.
Now the slicing technique from the back. He puts one hit in low to try and create a chip room so the axe has room to travel, and not a bad cut.
Time of 56.18 for Mel Lentz. That's going to put him in first place so far, and he can do no worse than third as we have one more heat to go. All right, the final heat of our springboard chop for the competitors in Flight B. The top 2 ranked competitors ready to go at it. That's Jason Wynyard, 5-time champion of the STIHL Timbersports Series, going up against our Wisconsin native. So a hometown favorite in some ways, Carson Bosworth.
Now, Tommy, in talks with all these competitors, they all said the same thing. We talked about it at the top of the show. You've got to do everything right. You don't have any second chances. These 2 guys are the 1 and 2 seed in this pool, so they've got to do their job right to maintain their positions at the top of the flight.
Right now, Richard Jordan holds down 4th place points. That's all important. Only 4 will advance from this flight. And he is not looking good to take any place in the top 4 after these 2 cuts are done. These guys are flying through the wood.
Only 34 seconds gone, and Jason's about to turn and do the slicing technique from the back. This is going to be a pretty quick cut.
Jason Wynyard will get top points in the springboard chop. His official time 45:21. John Hughes is with our winner.
Jason, give us a run through on how that cut went. I talked to you before the show. You were feeling pretty confident and you knew you had to go after it. How did it go?
It didn't go too bad, John. It was a bit of a shabby climb, but had a bit too much slope on the top hole, and that kind of sagged on me a bit as I was cutting. But good piece of wood up there, and there was a lot of nerves going into that for me. But it's nice to get that one out of the way with a time under 50 seconds. So I was happy.
We've got a lot more to come from here in Menomonie, Wisconsin. We'll be back with some power sawing, the stock sawing, when we return.
The STIHL Timbersports Series is brought to you by STIHL, maker of a full line of handheld outdoor power equipment. By Dodge, the official truck of the STIHL Timbersports Series. By Carhartt, official workwear of the STIHL Timbersports Series. And by Cabela's, the official outfitter of the STIHL Timbersports Series.
We're back and ready to go with some power sawing for you here. That is the stock saw competition.
In the stock saw event, we have the MS660 Steel Magnum Chainsaw. Each competitor runs one. They've been tuned identically. They have a 16-inch log, 4 inches in which to make 2 complete discs.
Stock saw heat number 2, the 5-time champ of the series there, Jason Wynyard from Auckland, New Zealand, going up against a guy who really prefers to do this the old-fashioned way, the J.P. Mercier, the saw builder from St. Etienne in Quebec, Canada.
And Tommy, a very close changeover. Whoa! He took a very thin cut, Jason Wynyard did on the first disc, giving him plenty of room for that upcut. But his opponent, Jean-Pierre Mercier, said, hey buddy, not so quick. I'm gonna come out on top with this one.
J.P. Mercier getting the best of him in the heat with 11.22, his official time so far in the stock saw. Next heat in the stock saw, it's going to be Mel Lentz versus Gaston Duparé. Mel Lentz in the foreground, the American legend in timber sports competition. Gaston Duparé, one of the most high-profile Canadian performers of all time, and it looks like it's going to be Mel Lentz.
Whoa!
Again, a close heat. I think Mel got him.
Well, you see Gaston Duparé very quick to the wood with this Magnum 660, and these guys came through the top of the log almost identically.
Well, a time of 10.86, a tenth of a second faster than Gaston Duparé. Mel Lentz is your champion in the stock saw.
You had a pretty good run in the springboard, probably would have liked to do better. Now you've got to win in this. What does this do for you for the other events?
Well, I just got to maintain control of what I'm doing. So, I just got to get a 4th or better. With that win, it sure helps me a lot, if I do flub an event up. But hopefully I can maintain control of a 4th or better, so make it on to Louisiana.
He's your stock saw champion, Melvin Lentz, and take a look at who is our Dodge overall competition champion. Yes, sirree, Mel Lentz there with 14 points, a tie for second place between Bosworth and Wynyard. And look at 4th place, the bubble spot, a tie there as well. J.P. Mercier tied with Richard Jordan. The standing block chop coming up.
In the standing block, they have the log like a tree with their axe. They must sever that as quickly as they can. Starting from the one side, that's where the tree's falling, severing it from the back for the win.
Next heat, Gaston Duparé down from Quebec, Canada, going up against Carson Bosworth, the Wisconsin resident in the competition here at Menomonie. Yeah, these guys have been squaring off against each other for at least 12 years in the STIHL Timbersports Series. We've seen some good races out of them.
This wood's a little firmer than perhaps most of them expected. Oh
man.
He has spikes on his shoes and he landed on a chip and it took him down, but he bounced straight back up. He can still win this heat if he gets after it. He's going to go for the drive now. So is Gaston. Who's it going to be?
And he gets Carson.
This is Carson Bosworth in the front of the log. Watch as he makes the turn. He's got spikes in his shoes and he landed on one of those chips that he just cut out of the front of the log and it took him down. But he bounced up very quickly and got back into the action. Even with the fall, Tommy, he was able to come out on top in this heat with a win.
Official time 25:03. Carson Bosworth winning the heat and moving into second place in the standing block chop competition. Now coming into this event, Mel Lentz was in the lead in overall points. In this heat, he's going to face off against Jason Wynyard. Jason Wynyard certainly the favorite. Jason can win this one, but if Melvin Lentz does well enough to finish in third place, he'll maintain his points lead.
Jason knows that the wood is a little bit firmer. He also knows the times the other competitors have cut, but he's put a 6-hit front and made the turn. Melvin knows his position. He's going to make sure of a good, sure cut. This is firm wood. He doesn't want to make any mistakes. As you said, he needs to hold this lead. Wow.
All right, Jason Wynyard, as expected, picks up the win in the standing block chop. Mel Lentz chopping away there. He may have done it. He may have kept his lead in overall points. We'll just have to wait for those final times. Well, Jason Wynyard, yes, the win, 17.42 officially in the standing block. Melvin Lentz picking up second place. Hey, that solidifies his spot, the overall lead in Flight B. He's 3 points ahead of Jason Wynyard. Carson Bosworth comfortably in third. Let's talk to Carson Bosworth right now. And John Hughes, we want to know, first of all, is he okay?
Carson, how you doing? Everyone's a little concerned.
Oh, no, I'm fine, John. The little fall in the standing, just a bit of bad luck. Hit a chip in the wrong angle and put me straight down to the ground and probably cost me a couple points.
You're in third position with 2 points ahead of JP. Can you maintain that position?
I hope to. It's a tough day and it's a new concept, so I got to just keep plugging along, that's for sure.
Thanks, buddy. Good luck in the next event.
Thanks, John.
All right, stick around and we will bounce back with more chopping. The underhand is on the way when we come back.
Welcome back. We're on the lake, Menomonie, Wisconsin, 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series. 8 hopefuls today, shooting for 4 spots. The 4 men who will advance to the second round of competition. We are ready to go with some more chopping for you. Here's the underhand.
In the underhand, the competitor stands on top of the log and swings that axe within inches of his toes as they're severing the block.
Richard Jordan, there's Gaston Duperret, longtime competitor in the STIHL Timbersports Series. Great hot saw competitor year in and year out.
And he's fired up. Both these guys are. Remember, Richard Jordan listed this as his favorite event, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. But how clean are they coming? They turn together. Tommy, these guys are absolutely burying these axes in this wood. It's good wood. They got sharp axes. They've got to know how to steer them properly. Gaston's going for the drive, so is Richard.
All right, it's going to be Gaston Duperret just ahead of Richard Jordan. Good times.
Gaston and Richard Jordan doing a great job here. Gaston put a couple extra blows in the front, and when he goes for the drive here, it came a little sooner than he expected. He puts 2 in and was going to do it again. Hey, it's off. Tommy, what for time?
Gaston Duperret, 23.12 officially, the man from Canada in the lead so far in this underhand chop. Next heat, Carson Bosworth versus JP Mercier. And JP Mercier, if he can keep his time under 23.12, he will keep his spot in the top 4. Pretty important heat in the underhand for Mercier.
Carson was very quick on the start there and a miss hit. He's going to have to clean that up and do a much better job in the back of this log. He needs the points just like the rest, and JP has turned already. JP's cutting very well this weekend. I think he's done some extra training.
Oh, that one hit good. Oh, man.
JP Mercier has been doing a lot of training in the off-season. When he's going for the drive, he puts his drivers in. An extra one on the offside. Thought it was off. It stuck the X. It cost him a little bit of time.
JP Mercier's official time, 24.32. So Gaston Duperret still has a better time than he. If no one gets in between them, he's only going to lose 1 point to Gaston. He's going to keep his 4th place spot. So this is on until the very end of this competition with 1 more heat left to go. Mel Lentz and Jason Wynyard. This should be a great chopping matchup. Mel's always been tough in that underhand.
Melvin Lentz, this guy, you know he's been through a lot of adversity in the last couple of years. He always seems to be able to pull it out when it means the most.
He can get below 23.12. He will maintain his lead over Jason Wynyard in total points here.
Tommy, I think Jason put a 6 at front, and look at this finish in the
time.
Oh, my word. Jason Wynyard put the perfect 8-hit front in that 13-inch lathe turn white pine and then got into the work in the back. And when he went for the drive, it came perfectly. 1 in the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 more to finish it on the bottom for a great cut.
Official time, 14.43. That is a great time. The win, of course, for Jason Wynyard in the underhand chop, but he's still 1 point behind Mel Lentz in the overall points. But congratulations to Jason. With that win, he picks up the Carhartt Chopping Championship for today. Let's get ready now for the single buck.
In the single buck, the competitor has 1 piece of equipment, 6'3" steel with many razor-sharp teeth on it. You must use all those teeth, all the length of the saw to sever that log.
Next heat coming up in the single buck. Donald Lambert, one Canadian against another one, Gaston Duperret. Both of these guys from Quebec. Gaston Duperret currently in third place overall standings in Flight B. He's trying to hang in there, trying to make it into that top four. There's a lot more competition yet to go, starting with what he needs, and that's a good finish right here.
That's right, and this guy builds his own cross-cut saws, as does Jean-Pierre Mercier, who is the other guy in third place with 18 points. We'll see him in a little while, but these guys are going after it now. Donald's got a good cut going. Oh!
So it is going to be Lambert over Duperret. The time, 14.81. He moves into first place.
And Donald was stroking very short here, but he built the saw. He knows what kind of weight he can put on it. And Tommy, he came out with a good cut for the win.
All right, next up is going to be Carson Bosworth and Mel Lentz. Carson Bosworth has taken a fall literally and figuratively. He fell during the standing block chop, and he has fallen from the top four, so he needs a good finish here to move into that top four. That is crucial. That's what you have to do in order to continue the 2005 series.
And look at how quick he's going right at it. His opponent, Melvin Lentz, a bad hook at the top of the log, but he's getting it wound up again. Carson's coming after it for the bottom, and a pretty good time. Well, Melvin Lentz had the big hiccup in the top of the log. He picked it up and put it on a raker. There was uncut wood there. But Carson Bosworth, this young man with beautiful technique, full stroke of the saw, and great driving blows for the end.
Carson Bosworth doing what he needs to do in his campaign to get into the top four in this competition. He leads the single buck with a time of 13.28. The final heat of the single buck is coming up. The man that Carson jumped over to get into third place is J.P. Mercier. Mercier is now our bubble man. He's going up against Jason Wynyard in this final heat, and Jason Wynyard would have to be the favorite, I would think, John.
Well, I tell you what, JP has been doing phenomenal things with the saws and cutting very well, but I don't think he's got enough for the big boy from New Zealand.
Whoa!
Whoa! But look at Wynyard's cut. Tommy, a marquee matchup at the end of Flight B single saw. Wynyard against Mercier. Mercier pulling that saw right into the cut, but Jason Wynyard, the power of that man, coming out with the victory.
Jason Wynyard, 11.61, his official time. He takes the single buck competition with J.P. Mercier doing himself a lot of good by holding on for second place there. He's moved up now into third place overall. In Flight B, Jason Wynyard has taken over the lead, and look at that, Carson Bosworth jumping over Gaston Duperret to land in that fourth spot. But it's all going to come down between Bosworth and Duperret and the hot saw. That's the way you draw it up. That's the way we want to see it. We'll have it for you when we come back.
The STIHL Timbersports Series is brought to you by STIHL. Are you ready for a STIHL? By Dodge, grab life by the horns. By Carhartt, hard at work since 1889. And by Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter. We're back in Menomonie. It has all come down to our final STIHL event. We'll have that for you, the hot saw, in just a moment. But now, as promised, some more boom run competition. Here's Robbie Floyd and Kevin Holtz.
Coming up, our third heat, Tanya Fisher coming up on the near side, Abby Heschler from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Our number 7 and 2 qualifiers, respectively. Fisher wavering off the initial start and really never could gain her form the rest of the way. Abby Heschler, the much quicker time right there. The 10:58 Abby Heschler, the youngest of the Heschlers, going to move on to the semifinals into that round of 4. You're looking at Jenny Atkinson, the number 3 qualifier from Stillwater, Minnesota, 32 years of age, going up against Katie Heschler. Heschler on the far side. We have 3 semifinalists. We're looking for the final. Whoever's going to win this moves on to the semis.
We've got the veteran Jenny Atkinson on the green lane, putting down a beautiful, beautiful run. Oh! Bobbles by both contestants. They hear.
What happened right there? You have to pick up on the same log that you left on, and on the far side, Heschler not able to do. You can see she's disappointed with herself right there.
It's very rare to see either one of these contestants go down. Obviously, it happens. Both contestants very disappointed they came off the log, but they recovered very nicely. Jenny Atkinson just recovering a little faster.
Our final field is set. Erdman, Martin, Heschler, and Atkinson. So right now, let's head over to Tommy and John for some hot saw action.
The hot saw event. These guys have their own equipment. Half snowmobile motors turned into chainsaws to cut through a 19-inch log 3 times in about 5 or 6 seconds.
All right, Mel Lentz versus J.P. Mercier. What is this thing that Mel Lentz is running for a hot saw? Or is that a cannon from the Civil War?
It's a potato shooter. JP did an okay job, but boy, that thing Mel was running is blowing a lot of smoke. Well, Tommy, we talked about JP needing a good solid cut, and everything seemed to go fairly smooth for him. 3 complete discs, but not quite as quick a time as we expected.
Official time of 6.87. That does put J.P. Mercier into first place, and at this point, he can do no worse than 5th. We're not saying he's a lock now to get into the top 4, but he's looking a whole lot better at this point. Next heat of the hot saw, Richard Jordan of Connecticut going up against the 5-time STIHL Timbersports Series champion, Jason Wynyard.
Yeah, the best time by far of the day. Official now 5.66. Jason Wynyard is going to lead the way into the second round of competition in the STIHL Series. Coming into this final event right here, Carson Bosworth 1 point ahead of Gaston Duperret. In this heat of the hot saw, it's Bosworth versus Duperret. Bosworth wins. He's going to the second round. If Duperret finishes 2 points ahead of Carson Bosworth, he is going. It's all down to 3 cuts.
Well, Gaston Duperret knew he was under the pressure. He got 2 discs off beautifully, but look at the top of this. He went up on top, tried to get it started, a couple of bobbles, and then he got to it. When he was finished, the judge deemed he did not have 3 complete discs. His opponent, Carson Bosworth, had his own problems. A very good first disc, but then the upcut, the blade outside the wood, and then down for the 3rd disc, but he saw that incomplete disc on the dock. He went back and had enough room to make 1 more cut, and that gave him a complete 3 discs.
Not his best effort, an official time of 10.64, but you have to give it to Carson Bosworth. Presence of mind to put 3 complete discs on the ground. That gives him the victory over Gaston Duperret, gives him passage into the second round of the STIHL Timbersports Series competition. Congratulations to Carson.
Carson, that wasn't the cleanest of cuts, but man, it was enough to get you into the top 4.
Yeah, luckily I left enough wood for myself in case I made a mistake, and I did make a big mistake, and I thought I was toast because he usually can't make a mistake against Gaston. He's usually right there with the best of them, you know?
Well, you deserve congratulations. We'll see you in Lake Charles.
Thanks, John.
Yes, congratulations to Carson Bosworth, J.P. Mercier, Melvin Lentz, and Jason Wynyard, our 4 qualifiers from today's competition. J.P. Mercier, our Cabela sawing champion today, and our Dodge competition winner, well, that is going to be Jason Wynyard. Our round 1 of competition continues from Menomonie, Wisconsin, when we see you next time on the STIHL Timbersports Series. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. STIHL Timbersports Series 2005. Welcome, John Hughes, Tommy Sanders with you here in the Chippewa Valley of Wisconsin as we continue our first qualifying round of competition. Kind of a new competition this year, John. More Olympic style. We have 4 flights of 8 competitors each. You have to be among the top 4 finishers in your flight to advance to round 2. We have completed 2 flights, and a lot of surprises for the Americans anyway. 6 guys out of the 8 who have qualified are from down under. What do you make of that?
Tommy, in Flight C, we don't have any Aussies or Kiwis, but we do have Hermann Schullenbacher from Switzerland. This guy, the European champion, coming off that win, he's pretty pumped up about being here in the big show.
Also in there, Michael Kors, the collegiate champion, 2 years running.
2 years running. I tell you what, a lot of the professionals here are watching this guy. They know how he's developed very quickly. It's going to be great competition.
All right, we got to get some Americans in the mix here. Who has the best chance of making it in today?
There's actually 3 American guys, Matt Bush, Mike Sullivan, and Arden Koga Jr. Either one of these guys could be the leader of Flight C at the end of the day.
All right, take a look at our 8 hopefuls for today as we get ready to start with the springboard shot. Next heat, there's Mike Slingerland from Rockwell, North Carolina. Certainly a single bucking specialist, going to try his hand at the springboard chop today. Back in the mix in the STIHL Timbersports Series. We haven't seen him in a while. Rob Weibel from West Lynn, Oregon, a great all-arounder.
He certainly is, Tom. He competed in the Superjack event at the Great Outdoor Games this summer, and he was winning it. He was the leader in every discipline until the last one. He lost by 3 points. Back in the STIHL Series, he's going to be hoping to put up a great cut in every discipline. That's what he needs to be able to advance to the next round.
Mike Slingerland, the physical therapist from there in North Carolina. Time to beat 1 minute 2 seconds, .84 by Arden Coger Jr.
You know, we talk about Mike being a soaring specialist. It hasn't been too many years that he's developed into a very good axeman. Very agile young guy. He's strong, and he gives it everything on every swing.
Rob Weibel there competes in all the sort of specialty events in timber sports as well. You don't see on the series here things like obstacle pole and the choker setting, but all these things that are big favorites in certain parts of the world.
He's got a terribly sagging board there, but he's cutting very well off that board.
Mike Slingerland, Rob Weibel turning at basically the same second here. This is going to be a very, very close heat. Going to have to get to work if they're going to beat the best time so far.
Slingerland trying to slice it. He's getting the axe jammed up, and Weibel's doing the switch hitting.
Mike Slingerland gets his off. Rob Weibel right behind. These guys will take the first and second place. Mike Slingerland takes over second place with 64.895 a minute, 4:89. Rob Weibel right in there behind him in third, 67.25. Mike Sullivan, Colebrook, Connecticut, in the final heat of the springboard chop. Big favorite for a long time for fans of the STIHL Timbersports Series. Going up against the 94 overall champ of the series, Matt Bush from Krogan, New York.
Timers ready. Contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Best time so far, 1 minute 2, Arden Coger Jr.
You got Matt Bush on the near side, you got Mike on the far side.
And Matt put a perfect 4-hit hole in there to start himself off. That's exactly what he needed. It's always a good confidence booster when you do the right thing right out of the gate.
And that magic number is 4. We're looking for those 4-hit pockets. Matt Bush up on his second board and swinging.
Undoubtedly one of the strongest axemen ever to come out of the United States. He's been to Australia and New Zealand many times. Honing his skills in the hardwood, Tommy. This is softwood, and he certainly knows how to cut this well. It's a great view of Mike Sullivan there. Cutting very quickly. You see the slope of Mike's board. He always has it pointing down towards the pole. He likes that. But Matt Bush with a very quick time.
Going to be a sub 45-second time for Matt Bush. That'll put him well ahead of the rest of this crowd here. Mike Sullivan trying to make it in under a minute and take over second place. Matt Bush, the easy winner in the springboard chop, a time of 43.13, and Mike Sullivan does pick up those second place points with 54.26. John Hughes is with Matt down on the floor.
Matt, 43.13, a pretty good cut, but you said there was some more you could do to make it quicker.
Oh, I'm sure. I've only cut a couple of these this year, and few little things, you know, that are going wrong. You feel yourself out of time, and on top I was doing a little more arm chopping instead of getting my body into it, getting rolling even.
Only 3 hits in the back. That's got to be what you're looking for every time.
No, actually, I was looking for 2 that time, John. It was a bit of a stuff up there on my part.
All right, well done. We'll see you in the next event.
Thanks.
Matt Bush, your winner. We'll be back with more, including the stock saw in a few moments. But this year, we got a couple of new events for you to look at. 2 new disciplines, 2 full new sets of athletes for you to get familiar with. One of those is the boom run. Here with that is Robbie Floyd and Kevin Holtz.
Thanks, Tommy. It looks like springboard is happening there. But here, it's all about the boom run. It's semifinals, our final 4. And Mandy Erdman from La Crosse, Wisconsin, going up against Shauna Martin from Madison, Wisconsin. Who's going to come out on top and move on to the final? Here's Erdman on the near side.
Both very even at the turn, both returning about the same time.
Erdman making up some ground at the very end. They stretch again, too close to call, just like we saw in our preliminaries and also the quarterfinals. This semifinal race is a tight one.
Yeah, let's watch these last couple strides.
Erdman on the near side.
Erdman ahead on the near side, gives the leap. Amazing stretch on the far side.
Man, that is so close to call. Well, we have the official time now, a 10.125 for Erdman, a 10.205 for Shauna Martin, and Martin loses by less than a 1/10 of a second. So semifinal number 1 is done, and it's Mandy Ehrman who moves on. Let's hear from her.
I definitely felt kind of close to me. I remember I was looking over at the end to make sure my foot crossed that line first, so luckily it did.
So Erdman moves on. We'll find out who the next finalist is between Abby Heschler, the 2005 silver medalist in the boom run, and Jenny Atkinson. I mean, her name just speaks of the boom run. She's the first ever women's boom run world champion. Atkinson on the far side. Atkinson with a leap. She got the good jump. We'll see the turn. Good turn for Heschler. Atkinson, you're really going to have to sprint. Heschler is doing that, and another close call and a stretch for the end again. Again, so tight there to the finish line, and you can see the height differential between Abby Heschler, only 5'2" tall, Jenny Atkinson 5'8", and she used every bit of that 5'8" body to stretch out to the finish.
That came right down to the very last leap, both reaching, stretching, trying to get their foot across that score line.
10.395 for Heschler. Atkinson a 10.18, and look how close that was. But it's Jenny Atkinson on top. Let's go down to her.
It's always really close with Abby. I thought I had her at the turn, but I could feel her coming, and I knew we were just going to be neck and neck coming into the final line.
Thanks a lot. When we come back, well, we're going to get to more lumberjack action. We'll find out a little bit later who's going to win the boom run.
The STIHL Timbersports Series is brought to you by STIHL, maker of a full line of handheld outdoor power equipment. By Dodge, the official truck of the STIHL Timbersports Series. By Carhartt, official workwear of the STIHL Timbersports Series. And by Cabela's, the official outfitter of the STIHL Timbersports Series. The 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series from Menomonie, Wisconsin. This is our third flight of 8 competitors in our first round. To make it to the second round, you have to finish in the top 4. Ready for our next event now, the stock saw. Mike Sullivan, former Cincinnati Reds catcher in the organization there. 20-year veteran of the STIHL Timbersports Series, going up in this heat of the stock saw against Switzerland's Hermann Schoenbechler.
And Hermann, of course, coming off his win of the European Cup over there in Germany. This young man is developing very quickly. He said, I don't know how, I just love the sport so much, it makes me want to be in it all the time. And he's doing well. And very excited to be here competing in this event.
Get set.
2 cuts, 1 down and 1 up, identically tuned saws. Oh, it might have been Sullivan by a whisker. Judge is going to make that call.
The hands of Mike Sullivan came off the block quickly. The saw was up and into the work exactly how he needed it. A very thin disc for the first cut, giving him lots of room for the upcut. He did his job correctly, had the revs of that saw perfect, the chain speeding through the wood, and he comes out with the win.
And how about this official time for Mike Sullivan at 10.51 to not only take over the lead, but to break the world record here in the STIHL Timbersports Series. Final heat of the stock saw competition. How do you follow up a world record? Well, we're going to find out how right now. Matt Bush, one of America's top competitors for the last 12 years, going up against a newbie, a rookie in the STIHL Timbersports Series, Michael Kors, although he is the reigning collegiate champ.
It makes you wonder how a rookie in the event gets to be in the top 2 competitors of this discipline, but Michael Kors has earned that right to be here with Matt Bush. Theoretically, these guys should cut quicker than the last 2.
That's going some. World record 10.51. Let's just watch.
Okay, we've got the relative newbie Mike Kors against the wily veteran Matt Bush.
Kors had the lead at the changeover.
Oh, it's going to be Kors.
Yes.
Going to be short of the world record, however. Michael Kors' official time to win the heat, 10.81, but you got to have hats off for Mike Sullivan, 10.51 and a new world record. John?
Yeah, Tommy, I got the world record holder here, Mike Sullivan. That's a great cut for the series.
That's as good as I can cut it right there. I didn't make a mistake. Everything was perfect. Went perfect.
That's got to give you a good boost of confidence in this series, knowing that you started off with a win here.
Yeah, had a good springboard, and the stock's always good. And this is the event you always sit back and go, geez, I hope I do well in this event, because this could make or break you, and it went good, so gives you a good boost of confidence for the rest of the day.
Big Mike Sullivan sitting on top of the world, the new world record, comfortable lead in the overall points in Flight C. 3 points over Matt Bush, and the man on the bubble in 4th place. How about it? A competitor from Switzerland, Hermann Schoenbechler. We got quite a race going on in Flight C. We're going to head now over to the standing block chop.
In the standing block, they have the log like a tree with their axe. They must sever that as quickly as they can. Starting from the one side, that's where the tree's falling, severing it from the back for the win.
All right, ready to go with the next heat in our standing block competition. Mike Slingerland, Rockwell, North Carolina, going up against the Pacific Northwest, David Moses Jr.
From Snoqualmie, Washington, this is where I expect to see Moses start to make a move with the points and climb towards the top 4 positions. Slingerland doing a great job. He's getting that big wood out of there quickly. This guy is strong, and he knows how to swing the axe. He's going for the drive.
He's going to get it. And he's going to get the lead as well. Mike Slingerland. Mike Slingerland easily taking the lead. Official time 21.60. David Moses moves into 3rd place, 23.82. Final heat of the standing block coming up now. Matt Bush from Krogan, New York, up against Arden Koger Jr.
Tommy, I know the quickest time of this event is coming out of this heat, but which one of these 2 athletes will it be?
You're kind of going out on a limb a little bit right there.
No, not at all. I know the ability of these 2. They love this 12-inch pine wood, and they're going after it. Matt grabs the top of the log and hops over those loose chips so he doesn't have a fall. Gets around straight into the action. Arden might have run away from the front. It wasn't very clean, but he's going for the drive.
For Bush.
Oh, Arden Koger Jr. wins that heat.
Official time for Arden Koger Jr. 17.86. Matt Bush picks up 2nd place points. Mike Sullivan falling off the pace just a little bit. He's only going to finish in 5th place out of this field of 8. So as we look at our standings after 3 steel events, Matt Bush, Mike Sullivan tied at the top with 19 points. And now Arden Koger Jr. with that win of the standing block has pushed Hermann Schoenbachler out of the 4th spot. He's in the top 4 now. We're halfway through our competition. The underhand is coming up next. Stay tuned. Only the top 4 advance out of our 8 competitors today in Menomonie in the STIHL Timbersports Series. And tied for 4th place right now, Arden Koger Jr., Hermann Schoenbechler, as we head into our 3rd event, the underhand chop.
In the underhand, the competitor stands on top of the log and swings that axe within inches of his toes as they're severing the block.
Next heat of the underhand, there's Rob Weibel again back in the competition fold again this year, going up against one of our leaders and one of our 20-year veterans, one of the anniversary men, Mike Sullivan.
Timers ready.
Mike Sullivan having already set the world record in the stock saw in this competition here today in Menomonie, Wisconsin.
Beautiful 13-inch lathe-turned white pine. These guys are going after it. Sullivan, a great cut going, a big hole in the front of that log, and a very quick turn.
Mike Sullivan coming into this underhand chop was tied with Matt Bush for the lead in Flight C.
And he's got a great time there.
Mike Sullivan, official time 20.33, moves him into 2nd place overall. Arden Koger Jr. started at this underhand, currently tied for the bubble position, 4th spot. Got to be in the top 4 to move on to the 2nd round of competition. Arden Koger going up against Matt Bush, tied for the lead in Flight C coming into the underhand.
I feel pretty confident we're going to see the quickest time out of this heat, but which one of these guys is it going to be? Both hitting very close to the sound of go. Matt's got a beautiful piece of wood there, and he's put a great cut in it. They turn together. This wood is letting them move quickly. They're both going for the drive. And Arden Koger Jr. with a phenomenal time.
Official time 16.20 for Arden Koger, wins the underhand, moves him out of that tie for 4th place in the overall competition, and awards him the Carhartt Chopping Championship today in Menomonie. 2 more events, all sawing, beginning with the single buck competition.
In the single buck, the competitor has one piece of equipment, 6'3" steel with many razor-sharp teeth on it. You must use all those teeth, all the length of the saw to sever that log.
Next heat coming up, Mike Slingerland hanging in there in 4th place in the standings. That's where he needs to be. He'll be going up against Arden Koger Jr., who's just ahead of him. Well, actually a little bit ahead of him, 4 points ahead of Mike Slingerland in 3rd place.
Arden Koger Jr. said this is his favorite event because he feels he can take all his aggression out in the single saw. Mike Slingerland is a masterful sawyer from years ago, and he's putting in a phenomenal cut, as is Arden.
Oh, hang up for Arden Koger.
Oh,
still very, very close heat.
Arden was cutting very well, coming through the bottom of this log, and his right hand comes right off the handle here. He rocked the saw and it hooked on a rake. It was uncut wood that stopped that saw moving. In the meantime, his opponent, Mike Slingerland, he had a buckle trying to drive. Again, a rake hooked on the wood. They come off very closely together.
Mike Slingerland solidifying his spot in the top 4, a time of 13.70. He takes over the lead. Arden Koger doing his cause a lot of good as well. Right behind him at 13.82. He's in 2nd. Bush versus Sullivan in this final heat of the single bucket competition to see who takes the lead going into the hot saw.
Mike Sullivan running a Jean-Pierre Mercier saw, and of course he has the saw builder there as his wedger. Matt Bush, I believe that's a Jim Taylor saw that he's using, and he's got Mike Slingerland as his wedger. Very important, those guys put the oil on the saws and put the wedge in so the disc doesn't hold on to the saw.
Oh, 2 big bobbles for Mike Sullivan. Matt Bush has taken over a commanding lead.
Oh, he certainly has. He's in the small wood in the bottom already.
Oh, yeah, a good 5-second win on the part of Matt Bush. He will solidify his lead overall in Flight C going into the final event. Official time of 11.93. Matt Bush easily winning that single buck competition. Take a look at our overall points now, and it is Matt Bush with a commanding lead. 5 points over Arden Koger Jr. Mike Sullivan has slid down all the way into 3rd place, but Mike Slingerland now 6 points ahead of Herman Schoenbachler. He's looking good to make it into the final 4, but one event left. The hot saw, we'll have that for you when we get back.
The STIHL Timber Sports Series is brought to you by STIHL. Are you ready for a STIHL? By Dodge, grab life by the horns. By Carhartt, hard at work since 1889. And by Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter.
Welcome back to the STIHL Timber Sports Series. I'm Robbie Floyd with Kevin Holtz. You're looking at the ladies' boom run. It's like a balance beam. Only 4 inches that they're going to be running on this. The final round for these ladies. They weren't able to make it to the final 2, so who is going to get bronze? It's going to come down to Abby Heschler and Shauna Martin. Heschler on the far side in the green, and Shauna Martin near side in the blue. And a good start by Shauna Martin on the close side.
She's the first one into the turn.
Martin with a blue top.
Shauna definitely pulling ahead at the end. Oh, and a fall for Shauna Martin, a fall for both contestants.
Both ladies lunging, and that's the new rule that you have to cross with your foot. And both ladies really diving there toward the end to try and get that foot out there.
Watch these logs spin at the very end. They get off center. Both of those large logs go on a serious spin.
And that's a lot of weight to be thrown around.
Absolutely.
And the bronze medal, a tight match. Abby Heschler, a time of 10.425. Shauna Martin, a 10.33. So Madison, Wisconsin, Shauna Martin takes the bronze. Let's hear from her.
I was very excited getting 3rd. I've never beat Abby Heschler before, so it's a big step in my boom running career.
So it's Martin barely edging out Abby Heschler for the bronze.
All right, thank you, Robbie. Congratulations, Shauna Martin. Now it's time to get back to the last of our STIHL events. That means it's time for the hot saw. This heat, a matchup between Mike Slingerland of Rockwell, North Carolina there versus the only European to qualify for the STIHL Series this year, Switzerland's Herman Schoenbachler.
They just got told to put their hands on the wood.
All right, Slingerland trying to push the envelope here, trying to get a little extra preparation time. They're asking to start the event. He's going to put his hands on the wood, grab that starter cable, and give it a fling.
Oh, and it didn't start.
Oh, Herman Schoenbachler looks like he's going to take over the lead unofficially, and Mike Slingerland unofficially going to take over last place. The plot thickens here in the final event of this 6-event series.
Well, Mike Slingerland was ready to go, thought he had the saw started, brought it up, and it died on him. It took a number of pulls to try and get that saw started. His opponent, Herman, was just moving on through 3 complete discs. This guy from Switzerland has learned how to run this saw and put up a very competitive time.
Yeah, the leading time so far, 7.16. That means Herman Schoenbechler is now ahead of 5 of these competitors here. 1 more heat to go, 2 more competitors to go. He came into this event 6 points behind Mike Slingerland. Mike Slingerland is now last. Should the final 2 contestants post times that are slower than Herman Schoenbechler, he will have run down, caught, and exceeded Mike Slingerland. He'll go to the next round of qualifying. If one of these guys, only one of them, beats Schoenbechler's time, it's going to be a tie for 4th place between Slingerland and Schoenbechler. Okay, here's the situation. If one of these guys fails to beat Herman Schoenbechler's time of 7.16, Herman Schoenbechler is moving on to the next round.
The 2 different saws here, Mikey Sullivan running a 320 Rotex, Matt Bush a 409. A comedy of errors for these guys.
3 discs and an unofficial time of 7.17 for our winner. It could be that Herman Schoenbechler is going to the next round. All right, these official scores, Matt Bush 7.07 and Mike Sullivan 7.10 means Herman Schoenbechler is in 3rd place. Mike Slingerland, the guy who's going on to round number 2. John, what does he have to say about that?
Tommy, he just went a big relief. Mikey, you made it, man. That's close.
That is unbelievable. I knew going in, Herman's one of the best hot saws in the world. I just needed 3 good cuts, but unfortunately some mechanical problems made me rely on my mates over here to get me through.
Well, he does get through. Mike Slingerland making it as the 4th man, advancing to the 2nd round of competition. So there they are, the 4 who are moving on, led by Matt Bush, plus Mike Sullivan, Arden Koger Jr., and Mike Slingerland. Matt Bush, our Dodge competition winner today, also our Cabela sawing champion. 8 more hopefuls with 1 last shot at moving on to round 2 when we see you next time on the STIHL Timber Sports Series. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
3, 2, 1, go!
The STIHL Timber Sports Series 2005. Welcome back to the Chippewa Valley here in Wisconsin, along with John Hughes. I'm Tommy Sanders. 1 more qualifying round left to go in our first round. Guys trying to get to Lake Charles in round 2. We qualified 12 already. 4 more slots available today and 8 guys shooting for them. Who do you see as the favorites, John?
Well, the 2 favorites, Dion Lane from New Zealand and Super Dave Jewett from Pittsburgh, New York. This guy, the newly crowned world title holder and world record holder in the single saw event, but that's just one of the 6 disciplines these guys are working on today.
All right, before we get started, let's take a look at the big list, the guys who've qualified so far. From Flight A, all from down under, Brad Turner, Brad DeLosa, Dale Ryan, and David Bolstad. The qualifiers from Flight B, Melvin Lentz, Carson Bosworth, JP Mercier, and Jason Wynyard. And the qualifiers from Flight C, well, that's going to be Matt Bush, Mike Sullivan, Arden Koger Jr., and Mike Slingerland. 8 hopefuls today, only 4 will make it to the 2nd round of qualifying. Also today, a real treat for you, 2 new disciplines, 2 new sets of competitors. We've got the boom run and we've got the pole climbing. Let's go to pole climbing right now. Let's go over to speed climbing. And here's Robbie Floyd and Kevin Holtz.
We've seen boom running. Now we're also going to see another new event to the STIHL Timber Sports Series, which is speed climbing. We've got 3 competitors, Rob Weibel, Guy German, and Casey Swenson. They get that automatic bid for our Virginia Beach, Virginia show. So let's get it started. Rob Weibel on the right, Casey Swenson on the left. Now this is going to be the head-to-head matchup to find out who competes against Guy German. German with the quickest time. He did what he had to do. We'll see him in the final. But who's going to win this one, Weibel or would it be Swenson?
Both these contestants are strong climbers. It's going to be the pole in the day that's going to decide it for them.
Shooting up Weibel with a pretty good, well, about even. But you know what? I think Swenson might have the advantage right here.
Little bobble from Weibel on the right. We talked about him being a veteran competitor. That's not his style. Both competitors kicking out about the same time. Casey really letting it go here.
Man, not even close. I think Weibel said, I don't have a chance now. He on the down, he knew that he had already been beaten.
Let's take a look at this matchup. Casey Swenson, the quicker of the two, got a good start. He a lot quicker strokes.
Yeah, Casey was looking real strong. You see him looking up at the top of the pole, watching for that green line. He doesn't go beyond it, comes up and just barely touches it, just what he needs to do right there.
Oh, check, check.
Speaking of bare minimum, there's 2 checks coming down. Boom, into that pillow.
That's all you need to get a 13.95, the quicker time. So Rob Weibel's out, and we're seeing the head-to-head matchup. Casey Swenson against Guy German. Kevin, this is no day in the park. This isn't like shimmying up the backyard tree, is it?
Absolutely not. The name of the game in this event is intensity. We caught up with some of the competitors earlier, and here's what they had to say.
Once the gun goes off or they say go, then everything else goes out the window, and you're just trying to concentrate on what you're supposed to be doing.
It was scary. Everybody's scared, I think. You get up there and you hold on to the rope as tight as you can. It's a rush, yeah, sure. I mean, I get off on it, it's fun.
The whole event to me is just a little piece of heaven, I think. It's just a great relief and total exhilaration. I can't describe it.
So here we are in the final round. 2 great competitors, Guy German going up against Casey Swenson. Who is going to take home the gold and who will take the silver? Casey Swenson on the right, Guy German on the left.
I've watched both these guys preparing for this event. They are dialed in and ready to go.
2 qualifying times, a 13.51 for Guy German, a 13.95 for Casey Swenson. So Casey's going to have to step it up. It's good to go head-to-head with the best of the best out there. Of course, Rob Weibel will finish 3rd place. Swenson on the right, German on the left. It looks like German with a hole shot, a good start. Makes it to the first color stripe, but I think it's going to come down to how many times. I mean, you know you have to check 3 times coming down, but look at that.
Comes down. Casey's letting it all out.
And that was going to be close. I think he made up the time. We take a look at this one more time. Casey Swenson's going to be on the near side. Guy German on the far side. No question, absolutely, German was fastest to the top.
Yeah, he was definitely the quick man to the top. He was the first one to kick out and had a considerable run going down the pole, but Casey just letting it all out, passes him on the way down. A virtual free fall from Casey Swenson.
We knew the times were going to be close. I don't think I expected it this close. A 13.13 for Guy German, a 13.09 for Casey Swenson. Let's hear from him.
I'm really happy, and I'm stoked. Usually I land on my feet, but smaller trees, I got a little bit out of control and turned to my side, landed on my butt.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter how he landed as long as he won the gold medal by 0.04 of a second. That's good enough.
Well, thank you, Robbie and Kevin. We'll have some more. In fact, the boom run coming up a little bit later, but now let's get back into our Steel Series competition and the stock saw.
In the stock saw event, we have the MS660 Steel Magnum Chainsaw. Each competitor runs one. They've been tuned identically. They have a 16-inch log, 4 inches in which to make 2 complete discs.
First heat's going to be Dion Lane from Auckland, New Zealand. Huge competitor here, has done very well, and especially in the last 4 years, the Steel Timbersports Series. Paul Finnegar from upstate New York. Steel Series, only one of the approximately 30 events he performs at in a year's time, all over northern New York, northern Pennsylvania, also up in Ontario, Canada. A lot of stock sawing experience there in Paul Finnegar.
And he's an excellent chainsaw operator. In fact, his hot saw, he told me he's got it running real good. He's looking for good things, but I'm looking for good things out of him in this event. Paul looked to head the lead in the changeover. Can he maintain it? Yes, he does.
Paul Finnegar going to be a good competitive sub-12-second time.
Well, they started very close together. Of course, they all start when the guy says go. And the times came out to be pretty decent, but unfortunately for Dion Lane, after this changeover, he took too much wood and cut the 4-inch line on the bottom of that log. Tommy, Dion Lane with a DQ.
Dion Lane going to have to crawl out of that hole over the course of the next 4 steel events, and Paul Finnegar taking over the early lead with an 11.29. Super Dave Jewett up next in this next heat of the stock saw competition. Going up against Wally Robarge, another man from upstate New York. So we got plenty of upstate New York representing going on here.
2 different techniques there. Wally Robarge crouching down close to the saw, so it's quicker to pick up, but it's dead heat in the changeover.
Wally Robarge on the bubble in that 4th position coming into this. May have helped his cause a little bit more. Going to have an excellent time as well. Wally Robarge, 11.55. He did do himself a lot of good there. Helps him stay in that top 4. In 2nd place currently in the stock saw. And Paul Feniger gets the win and puts him in 2nd place overall. Some of the long shots are up, some of the favorites are down. Things are getting shaken up in this Flight D competition in the 1st round of the STIHL Timber Sports Series. We'll be right back with the standing block chop.
The STIHL Timber Sports Series is brought to you by STIHL, maker of a full line of handheld outdoor power equipment. By Dodge, the official truck of the STIHL Timber Sports Series. By Carhartt, official workwear of the STIHL Timber Sports Series. And by Cabela's, the official outfitter of the STIHL Timber Sports Series. We're back in Menomonie, Wisconsin, the 2005 STIHL Timber Sports Series. 8 competitors today shooting for 4 spots in the 2nd round of competition. We're ready to go with STIHL event number 3. That's the standing block chop. Do or die time for Harry Burnsworth, currently in the 7th position among the 8th. You got to be in the top 4 spots in order to progress through the qualifying in the STIHL Timber Sports Series. Had a rough go of it the first 2 events, has got to do well, maybe the top 3 places in this standing block competition. Going up against Super Dave Jewett. A couple of good American competitors. Looking for one of those, again, top 4 spots. You've got to be in the top 4 if you want to make it to round 2 in Lake Charles.
And of course, we've talked about it before. Harry Burnsworth has been the STIHL Timber Sports Series champion, and we do not expect to see a guy of this caliber so far down in the ranks this early in the event. Super Dave Jewett, he's hungry, he's fired up, he's lean and mean and ready to go.
Harry Burnsworth, a DQ in the springboard chop, had a very difficult time of it in the stock saw.
Dave swinging quick here, he's going after this one. Harry's not too far behind him on the turn. 12 inches of lathe turned white pine. They're cutting. They're both going for the drive-in.
All right. Harry needs this one to go off with this blow. Okay. David Jewett, official time 19.15. Yes, he moves into 1st place. And Harry Burnsworth, he did himself some good there. 21.83. Currently in 2nd again with 1 more heat to go. Mike Forrester, one of our West Coast guys in this competition, in the final heat of the standing block, up against big Dion Lane from Auckland, New Zealand. Powerful man and a mighty intimidating competitor here in the standing block chop. He really rocks that stage.
What's intimidating about being 6'4" and 285 pounds?
Yeah, maybe I overspoke a little bit.
This guy can really wield an axe, and it looks like it's about an 8-inch blade, and he's going to be putting it in this block extremely quickly and hard. He's already made the turn, and he's got a big hole in the front of that block. He's going for the drive already. That's a huge amount of wood to try to cut off.
Well, he's hung up a little bit. He's not going to get the win, unofficially over 20 seconds.
Well, Dion put a big hole in the front of that log, and I thought he had enough done. He puts 2 blows up and then starts to put his down blows in and was going for the drive. He had the nail wood cut, the X was sticking, going for the drive on the far side through the big wall of wood. Not the time he was looking for.
The time officially 21.08 for Dion Lane. And look at Harry Burnsworth manages to hang in there, get 3rd place points, so maybe all is not lost so far in this competition for Harry Burnsworth. 3 events down, Dave Jewett, comfortable lead 21-16 over Dion Lane in Pool D competition. We'll be back with some of the underhand, but first, let's take it out to the boom run. Take a look at this.
The women's boom run, 2 of the fastest women in the world. Jenny Atkinson and Mandy Erdman go at it in the gold medal round.
Jenny's been around the sport for quite some time. She's been almost dubbed the queen of this sport.
She's the first women's boom run world champion. She's also going up against the 2005 gold medalist in the boom run in Mandy Erdman. This is a toss-up. Mandy with a good start. Look at that. I mean, like an elk or a gazelle, long legs, and closing in fast. But look at Erdman. That is another close race, just like we've always seen here in the women's boom runners. Let's take a look at this right off the bat. I think she got the whole shot, Mandy did. I mean, look at that straight line. You don't see the log spinning, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely. On the way down, the logs are going to be a lot calmer. Going back, you can already see the logs moving. She adjusts very nicely and finishes very strong.
Jenny Atkinson, a time of 10.31. Mandy Erdman, 10.05. She takes the victory and the gold medal. Let's hear from her.
It felt great out there on this run. I went out pretty fast. I had a really fast start, rounded the distinction. I was a little bit too slow on the come around, but I made it up and won the race. So it's great to be here at the STIHL Timbersports Series. We've always wanted to be here, and we actually got the chance this year. So I'm ready for the next competition coming up.
Thanks, Mandy, and congratulations on your gold medal. We'll see you at our next Boom Run competition in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Thank you very much, Robbie Floyd. When we come back, more chop and the underhand is on the way on the STIHL Timbersports Series. From Menomonie, Wisconsin, we continue with the 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series. This is round 1 competition. Of our 8 competitors today, only 4 will advance to round number 2. Some more chopping on the way. It's time for the underhand.
In the underhand, the competitor stands on top of the log and swings that axe within inches of his toes as they're severing the block.
Harry Burnsworth. We come into this 4th STIHL event, and Harry Burnsworth still languishing in 7th place. So Harry Burnsworth would probably need to get better than 25 seconds in this cut to move more up that ladder. He's one of our favorites, expected to get into the top 4 who qualify to move on in these championships. He's going up against a man from out there in Glide, Oregon.
Mikey Forrester. This big guy is injury-free this year, but you know, this wood is not letting the axes move, Tommy. They're all having trouble with them sticking. Harry's putting a pretty good cut up here. He's got a beautiful piece of wood there. The time is ticking, just over 20 seconds. Harry's going for the drive, and whoa!
Oh, yes. Could have helped himself a lot there. Mike Forrester off as fast. Harry Burnsworth taking over the lead, 22.68. The official time for Harry Burnsworth, Mike Forrester, 23.81. He's in 3rd. Final heat of the underhand chop. David Jewett, big Dion Lane. David Jewett got the best of Dion Lane in that standing block chop. I'm thinking Dion is in the market for a little bit of revenge right now.
He better be, but he's got to stay focused, concentrate, and do the job properly. I know he might have been a little embarrassed after that standing block mishap. I don't think he'll make the same mistake again.
Got a good 2-hit lead over David Jewett at this point in the proceedings.
Oh, yeah, Dion's going for the drive.
He's got it. Dion Lane easily taking care of Dave Jewett. We'll see if Dave Jewett did well enough to manage 2nd place. Dion Lane's official time, a 16.54, pretty much blowing the field away. Jewett, though, hanging in there. His Dodge competition lead, his overall lead, still 4 points at this point. But congratulations again to Dion Lane. He is today our Carhartt chopping champion. We're going to get to the sawing right now as we go right into the single buck. Benny Halverson, the 2nd for husband Rick in this heat of the single buck competition. Rick Halverson going up against Harry Burnsworth. This is a critical run for Harry Burnsworth, currently locked in a tie at 16 points apiece in that 4th position, that critical position to advance in the competition, locked up with Paul Finnegar and Wally Robarge. Now, Paul Finnegar put down a time of 14.52, so job 1 for Burnsworth. Get under 14.52.
He's got a great start going. He's moving that saw well. Rick is too. This is going to be a good race, but the pressure is on Harry.
Boy, he's got to get on it. He's got to get on his horse. Oh, he can't afford that. Oh, man. Oh, man.
That's not the result Harry Burnsworth wanted. Harry was doing a great job in this cut. Looked like he had a good handle on it, and the saw buckled. That stopped him dead in his tracks, and then not a clean finish. Rick Halverson, this 56-year-old from Alma Center, Wisconsin, still moving that saw very well, coming out with a pretty good time for the win.
Rick Halverson's official time, 14.78, good enough for 2nd place so far in this competition. Harry Burnsworth, a disappointing 3rd. Wally Robarge, one of those guys locked up in that 3-way tie for 4th place when we started the single buck competition. Paul Finnegar has put down a time of 14.52 that Harry Burnsworth finished just behind. Wally from Naples, New York, going up against Mike Forrester of Glide, Oregon.
And Wally's using that JP saw, but there's Mikey Forrester, this big man from Oregon. He's so strong and fast for his size and soaring very well.
Boy, good job by Mike Forrester right there. Mike Forrester, your new leader, official time 12.20. Wally Robarge moving into 2nd place ahead of Paul Finnegar and Harry Burnsworth. So that's how it's shaping up for that log jam for the 4th position here.
Welcome, Dion.
Well, let's go right to it. The final heat of competition in the single buck. The top two leaders in our overall points today. David Jewett of Pittsford, New York with a 4-point lead over Dion Lane of Auckland, New Zealand.
Super Dave running the J.P. Mercier saw and having J.P. Mercier as his oiler as well. So he's got the full package working for him.
3, 2,
this should go
1,
very
go.
fast.
Dion ripped into this real quick, but Dave's already buried the saw. These guys are hungry. They want to go for the ripcord. They know it's good wood.
Oh, it's going to be Dave Jewett by a hair.
Time of 11.31 for Dave Jewett. Dion Lane is in second place. Those two guys still on top of our Dodge overall competition standings. The 5-point lead now for Jewett. But take a look at the logjam at fourth place. Robarge, Finnegar, Burnsworth also with a shot at that important fourth position.
This is some pretty good action here. You're both in position to go into the top 4. You're already there with 22 points. You're one behind with 21. The hot saw's coming up. That's a coin toss. Who's going to tell me who's going to get there?
Well, John, you know, we woke up this morning and we both said, hey, let's go in the series and let's just do the best we can this year. And I just told him, I pat him on the back and I said, hey, good luck, buddy, and whoever makes it, you know. So the outcome we'll find out in a little while here.
What do you think of this, Paul?
I told him this morning, you know, the chances are good that we're going to probably come down to me and him for number 4 spot, and pretty much told him the same thing. Good luck. We have a great year. You know, at the series, it's probably one of our best ever. And, you know, we're pretty much just focusing on our cut, not worrying about our other competitors.
Well, one more time, it's all going to come down to our final event, the hot saw. It's going to be loud, it's going to be good, and we'll be right back with it. The STIHL Timber Sports Series is brought to you by STIHL. Are you ready for a STIHL? By Dodge. Grab life by the horns. By Carhartt. Hard at work since 1889. And by Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter. The STIHL Timber Sports Series, this is the last event of round 1 of competition and the last chance for 3 competitors at that final spot in round 2. Again, it's all coming down to the hot saw and we're ready to crank them up.
The hot saw event. These guys have their own equipment. Half snowmobile motors turned into chainsaws to cut through a 19-inch log 3 times in about 5 or 6 seconds.
All right, pretty important heat coming up here. This is Paul Finnegar, one of the 3 competitors, still with a shot at making the top 4 versus a man who's pretty much sewn up his spot in the top 4, Dion Lane. Oh, Paul Finnegar did what he needed to do.
Very close competition from Dion.
Well, Dion Lane may have gotten the best of him right there, but Paul Finnegar is going to be right up there with a good time, probably sub 6.5 seconds. Dion Lane could swing for the fences that time because he wasn't about to get knocked out of the top 4. Does so, gets a good time, 6.15, takes over the lead, but more importantly, Paul Finnegar right there behind 4th place. A good competitive time of 6.55. Will it be enough to get him past his buddy Wally Robarge, who is 1 point ahead of him in 4th place? Well, Wally Robarge is coming up in the next heat. And there's Wally right there. Log number 1, Wally Robarge from upstate New York, getting ready to go at it with another guy from upstate in the Empire State, Pittsford, New York, Super Dave Jewett.
All right, hands on the wood. Timers ready. Contestants ready. Get set.
Oh, no! Wally Robarge. They have lost a huge opportunity, an incomplete disc there. Disc number 2, he knows it. He's shaking his head. Boy, a missed opportunity for Wally Robarge. His buddy Paul Finnegar is going to pass him. Time officially of 7.60 for Dave Jewett. That currently has him in 3rd place in this hot saw competition. And I'll tell you what, Robarge out. Finnegar moves up into that 4th place spot. Also opens a door, presents a little opportunity to Harry Burnsworth, who is 2 points behind Paul Finnegar, and Harry Burnsworth coming up in the 4th and final heat. Harry Burnsworth has to beat Rick Halverson, number 1. He has to win his heat. He also has to beat the best time so far, Dion Lane, 6.19.
Tommy, I've got to tell you, this is some of the best competition that the STIHL Series has ever seen in the history of the 20 years of this thing. These guys know how much pressure is on the line, especially Harry, but it comes down to these last events in every discipline to figure out who's going to move on to Lake Charles.
Harry Burnsworth, again, has to beat Rick Halverson in this heat, has to beat 6.19, or Paul Finnegar
is in 4th place, and he is going on to round 2.
All right, hands on the wood. Timers ready.
I'd like to hear the heart rate
Ready.
of Harry Burnsworth right about now.
He has done it! Harry Burnsworth has done it! With the final cut in the hot saw, he has moved all the way from 7th place earlier in this competition, all the way up into 4th place. He's going to be that 4th man. He's going to move on to round 2 in the STIHL Timbersports Series. Harry Burnsworth, it's official, a 5.21. He wins the hot saw, and more importantly, he wins that 4th spot in the qualifying. He'll move on to Lake Charles. He's with John Hughes right now.
Now, I've been calling you Mr. Automatic for a long time, and man, that looked like a flawless cut. Could you improve on it?
No, it was pretty good. The switches and all was good. I took a little more than I wanted the first cut, but everything else just fell right into place.
Well, congratulations, Harry. You're number 4. You're going to Lake Charles.
Thank you, John.
Harry Burnsworth. He's going to be joined in Lake Charles from Flight D by our final 4 qualifiers from the first round of competition. That'd be David Jewett, Dion Lane, and Mike Forrester. David Jewett, congratulations, as our Dodge overall competition champ today. Dion Lane turned out to be our Cabela sawing champ. The next time we see you, it will be in Lake Charles for round 2 of the 2005 STIHL Timbersports Series. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.